Here's the hard thing about Milwaukee and blowout run guys is they're going to run their guys out until the game is completely secured. Like, they have no choice. They're not going to give the Nets an inch to get back into this game if it's like a blowout going into the fourth quarter. If I like the blowout idea, I think one of the things that needs to happen is Chris Middleton needs to be hitting his shots.
If you play Middleton or Drew at captain with Giannis and KD, obviously on DK I'm talking now, you can get all four of the studs basically. You can put Giannis and KD and then two of Lopez, Middleton, Drew, and then just two punts with it, and two punts will play well in the blowout. So I think that might be the way to go over a Giannis or KD captain, because it just gets you in a different range where you can play all four of them. I think it's a different path, and I think it's going to win. I think we're going to win like all the money.
Good. I hope you're right.
Like I think it's going to be a massive night for whoever's watching this show.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the MLB Swing for the Fences show, presented by Run Pure Sports. I'm your host, Man Cohen. I'm totally flustered right now. We are talking pre-show. We're giving away tickets. We got so much stuff to do today. So many members won yesterday. It's been an awesome time here at Run Pure Sports. We had Draft Cheat's birthday yesterday. That was super exciting. We had Hoop's anniversary, and he shipped a bunch of money. We have a lot going on over here at Run Pure. We also have the Punisher. He's giving away 4 tickets to the subscribers as well. So a lot going on over here at Run Pure. Let's go to the birthday boy after his big birthday. I don't know if it's like birthday week for you, DC, but talk about some Topgolf last night.
Good time. I always love Topgolf. Everybody got to roast my swing on Twitter. I posted that, so that was fun. And shaking off the cobwebs today, but good to go on a fun Friday night of baseball.
Yeah, should be a good time. We got our boy Hoop. Hoop, you definitely took down some cheese last night, right? I opened up, was sweating the contest out yesterday. I had a team that was up towards the top with you. That Jordan homer really got you over the top, and it really sunk me. The Astros in Toronto with, I don't know who the pitcher you had was, but seemed like the chalk hit because you had a nice little combo there.
Yeah, Barrios. First, I would say I was pretty impressed with that swing, DC. That looked pretty good. It looked like you got some power behind there.
Not too bad, right? For not having golfed in 2 years and being like 10 beers deep, I thought it was all right.
You never know what you're going to get when someone says they're going to Topgolf and they're going to post a picture or video. I mean, you really have no idea. Like, if Mangone said he's going to Topgolf, I'm just going to assume that it is going to be like a horrendous, disastrous swing. Am I right, Mangone?
That's very hurtful. I am not bad at golf, Hoop. I'm okay,
really?
Right? Like, I'm getting better, right? I used to play as a kid, but I'm working on it. So it's not horrendous.
Okay. I mean, because I'm a middle of the road guy. Like, I'm not going to say I'm good at golf. I'm not going to say I'm bad. Like, I think I'm in the middle somewhere, but
that's where I am. I'm not amazing, but if I work on my game a lot, I'll get a lot better. I've been getting back in the swing of it, and I played a lot as a kid. I played like junior golf tournaments and stuff as a kid, so I definitely used to play a ton.
Okay. All right, so you got some history there with the game, but like I said, the swing looked pretty solid from DC. I mean, it looked like a lot of power. He got that front leg up and really whipped that thing through. So impressed with the video there. Last night was a good night. in MLB, I mean, yeah, it was mostly, I mean, that Jordan home run got me over the edge. I didn't really pay attention. It was one of the better, wins in DFS when you don't even sweat it, and you kind of open up the app at the end of the night and you saw you had a good night. So I don't even know who was on my team. I know it was the Blue Jays for sure, and some Astros. I think I had Barrios on that team though. He was the key.
Was the Jordan Dong? I think it was off a position player, I believe.
Was it?
Oh, was it that bad?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, but it was.
That'll work. They'll count the same.
Yeah, exactly. So it was. It was definitely a good night. I think me and DC, that were in the same boat. Overindulged, and still we're in the same age range. I think I'm a year older than DC, and you pay the price a little bit longer the next day.
Yeah, Friday doesn't really feel like it, right? When you're already struggling and it's Friday, but that's all right. We'll be good.
No, we'll be good. We definitely got some awesome baseball games. We have a lot to cover for sure. Let's talk about the members never win segment first, right? Because we always love talking about that. And there were tons and tons of winners yesterday. We had DCats 15 in the Showdown contest. He took home 3.85K, right? So that's nice. We also had Glaucoma, Redmond, and WDW 2050. They all took that down. They were all chopping with each other. I don't know if Big T was in on the chop as well, but hey, it was one of those nights where if you got on that team, it was pretty popular, but that's still some good money back, right? If you multi-enter, of course, it's not as great, but hey, you'll take a nice little 4K boost to the bankroll off of like a $20 entry, right, Hoop?
Yes, absolutely. That is that's a nice victory there for sure.
So yeah, nice to see those guys take that down. We also had, again, Hoop's entry. We can put that up on the screen. He put about 5K and won 4,200, which is definitely nice. He's very happy about that. Nice little boost to his bankroll where he can, continue to take down all the winners today, especially take down the $150 GPP tonight, because they got a nice big one over there on FanDuel. And speaking of FanDuel, Big T, he won the monster the other day. So we got that one as well. He's been absolutely crushing it. Punisher, he won the 10K right behind Big T. And that's why we're giving away these tickets to that $150 GPP. DC, I'll go over to you because we're trying to figure out a good way to give out these tickets. So I think what we're going to do is throughout the show, at some point, we're just going to pick someone in the YouTube chat that, says a comment that we liked, just kind of tickles our fancy, or we laugh at it a ton. Whatever the best comment is, there's no criteria on that. And then we want to give away 3 tickets to members. So if you go to the live show chat, DC, what do you want to do for this? My recommendation was tell us your favorite stack tonight and give us like the Big T answer. Like, I love this stack because they fuck, right? I don't know. He gives a reason, right, all the time. But what would give us a Big T type answer of why you like a stack, right? DC, is that the best way to do it?
That's good. You can do that. You can put in your favorite big platoon player of the night. Maybe that could get you a free entry, whatever you want, right? Whatever makes us laugh. Maybe it's informative. Could be anything. But in the live show chat, right? Not the normal baseball chat is where we want that to happen.
Yeah. In the live show chat.
And if you're not a member, I mean, you got the opportunity. You can get in there, get in this Discord, and get your comment in there too. So we're gonna pick someone from the YouTube chat, and then 3 from this live show chat. I mean, really, what it comes down to is if you say something and we think it's funny, you're gonna have a chance to win a ticket. We're all about making fun of each other. I think Big T is a good target. Like you could potentially, go on the side of Big T and, like DC said, name one of his platoon guys that he just absolutely loves, or make fun of him or something. But basically, if you say something funny, you're gonna have a chance here to win.
Love it.
Yep, that's what we'll do there. So, I would definitely love if you can find a good big platoon joke. I'll definitely be looking out for those. That'll be funny. But overall, that's how we're going to give away the tickets. We're going to make 3, and they're on FanDuel. It's in the $150 GPP that they have over there, with a chance, I believe, to win 100K tonight. So get in on that. There's like 800 entries. It's going to be a lot of fun. So excited. I think I got 3 entries in that tonight. So I'm excited to try and take that thing down. And hopefully we'll see a ton of Run Pure Sports logos at the top. If you want to get your logo on the top, go in that Discord chat, put that logo on there. We appreciate that. And we love seeing all that red and black at the top of the leaderboards. Again, if you want to get in the Discord, use that code RPSHeater25 for 25% off, or Euro25 for 25% off. We got the Euro slate tomorrow, which will be a nice big one. So be sure to check out the content that we have for that. But Before we dive in, DC, I want to go to you. I want to say, like, is this a good slate? Do you like it? Do you not? I mean, there's baseball on, so I feel like either way, you're going to enjoy this slate.
Yeah. I kind of like every slate, right? I like some more than others, but I just love baseball and I kind of like them all. So, yeah, I think it's pretty good. There are some weather concerns. We do have to pay attention to that in a couple different places, right? I think most of these games will play, but, right off the top, the weather, Cincinnati storm going to be coming there at some point. I'm thinking that one will probably be okay. A little bit of risk in Detroit for the Tigers game, and the Astros have a pretty monster team total, so that's certainly going to impact lineups, impact teams. White Sox potential rain there too, and in St. Louis we have potential storms as well. So just most of these are just kind of the summer storm variety, right? And usually what happens with these is they end up getting the game in one way or the other. So I think that's what will happen tonight, but it is something that we're going to have to monitor. Of course, we'll be in Discord all the way up to when these games lock, whether they're delayed or whatever it may be, kind of giving our final call, right? Like sometimes it's 15 minutes before the game and you're saying, no, I'm pulling the plug on this game, get these players out of your lineup. I think that's certainly a good thing we do. We try to do the best we can to, you either say stay on the game or get off this place. There's an edge to that oftentimes, especially times when maybe everyone's abandoning a game and you're saying, no, you know what? I think this game is going to be okay. So yeah, that's something to monitor throughout the night.
Yeah, the Detroit situation, it's literally rained all day here too. And that I think that adds a little bit of risk to the situation. It's not like it's a couple hours of rain. Since the minute I woke up this morning, it's been some sort of precipitation all throughout the day. It looks like it's going to stop here at some point. But
it seems like it's drying up, right? You're kind of on the tail end of it right now, it looks like. But
yeah, and then it looks like there's potential for it to start back up. Once this game starts, and if that happens, it's risk. So I think there's certainly some risk in the Detroit situation, and that's interesting because the Astros are obviously in such a good spot here today against Willie Peralta with that 6-team total, and it's something to monitor for sure.
Yeah, it's just we're going to be monitoring that one all the way to lock, right? There's just no question about it with the Astros there.
But what the people really want to know is, because it rained all day, what's that doing to the lawn routine? That's what the people really want to know.
Man, yeah, it might bump me up here. I was on the Tuesdays, as you guys know, I was cutting the lawn on Tuesdays. Well, we got a nice steady rain a few weeks ago for a couple days, so I had to bump it up to Monday. So I did the 6-day rotation that week. At this rate, it looks like I might be out there Sunday cutting the grass because with all this rain and if we get some sunshine, that thing's really going to start sprouting up. So it could be a 6-day week here.
All right. Well, the people want to know it. They want to keep up with your lawn routine. They want to make sure they're aligned and having that great lawn like Hoop has. But just so you know, I got a leader in the clubhouse so far on my entry for the ticket. At least for my pick, we're each going to have one. In the live show chat, I gotta find it because it was definitely a good one. It was Bobby said stacking against Kikuchi because he has a small penis. Like that is a big T type answer. Like
that is a big T. That's definitely a big T comment right there.
But again, it doesn't have to be that. If you make us laugh in some kind of way, right? We'll definitely go with that. It just depends. Try to cater to the person's humor that or the person that's kind of doing that.
I got a leader too. Someone quoted. We were talking about the weather. Someone quoted my Kevin Roth video that I made that I tweeted yesterday in the chat.
Legit. That's by far your best work.
One cloud in the sky and he makes it red orange. That's a famous line from.
I missed it. You did a video yesterday.
No. This was like from the past. You saw the one you saw the Roth video, the Hitler one. It is. If you guys haven't, what's the best way to get it? You tweeted it yesterday, right?
I believe so. I know I put it in Discord. I think I tweeted it too. Yeah, I did tweet it. So if you haven't seen the Hitler gets blocked by Kevin Roth on Twitter, it's You'll laugh. I promise you that. So go watch that.
Yeah, I haven't. I probably have seen it, but I haven't watched it in a while.
Check it out. You'll get a good laugh out of it. I promise.
No doubt. So I will check that out. So yeah, we got some leaders in the clubhouse, but you still got time to submit. Again, do that in the live show chat in the Discord. Of course, we will pick someone that makes us laugh in the YouTube chat. So all three of us be on the lookout. We'll pick something out that we can find. But let's dive in and let's talk some baseball, and let's go over to Hoop first. So let's get the cash takes, right? We got Carlos Rodon at the top, right? And pitching has been kind of pricey lately, but you can make an argument that Rodon is kind of worth kind of paying for today. I think he's someone that I'm going to prioritize when I build out my lineups. It's a big enough slate where, sure, I think we can find enough big platoon type players to toss into our lineups where we can get some 2.6 guys and 2.5K guys, and we can punt the catcher position and get in a guy like Rodon. So Hoop, are you jamming in Rodon? Is he one of your top options here?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of in a tier of his own tonight in terms of floor and upside. Has the big, obviously, strikeout upside that we want in DFS. Again, the price is 10.7 on DK. Very easy to work him in. Kind of talk about this quite a bit. We have talked about it quite a bit in the past about how it's easy to get these top pitchers. I'm just going to play him tonight, and in majority of my lineups and cash games, I think he's a pretty clear. You're pretty clear SP1. FanDuel, he's 11-2. Again, it's very easy to pay up at pitcher on FanDuel. We have a full slate. We have already have some value guys in lineups that we have out. There's going to be more. I think you just play him, and like I said, I think he's kind of in a tier of his own today in terms of floor and ceiling.
Yeah, and we got some good entries. One more in the chat that just came through was my lock of the day is Big Platoon, Wander Franco. This kid has massive splits, absolutely mashing lefties with a 6.67 average and a 0.0 average against righties. So, man, that is a good one.
In 3 games, right? I love it.
that was what made it so good. So, yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Big T might look at that and just.
There's some good entries in there. This is a good contest. I like this.
They'll say, I don't know if this is right. I don't know if this is wrong, but my rule is I play him against lefties, which is always so good. But so at the top, obviously, Hoop likes that. DC, how about you? Give us some of your breakdown of the pitchers at the top.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think you just play Carlos Rodon. He's just been incredible. We've been on him literally since the very first start of the year. Back on April 5th, I said this guy, I think, could be in for a breakout season. He's had a double-digit swinging strike rate in every single start this year. What's interesting about him, we're seeing a lot of kind of aces go back a notch, right? Go back a peg. Carlos Rodon's getting better. He's getting stronger. He had these last 2 starts have been his highest, average fastball velocity of the entire season. He's not a spin rate guy. He hasn't been. He's like a mid-tier. Like he just doesn't spin the ball that much, So there's no concerns there. At home against Seattle, I mean, I've just been super consistent, massive upside. Like, what more do you want? I mean, the dude's just an absolute beast. He's going to give you 100 to 110 pitches every single time out. Sometimes you don't need to make DFS harder than you need to. So to me, yeah, you just play Carlos Rodon. You move on, especially on this slate where, I mean, clearly the best option, right? I just don't think it's really even close. So yeah, give me Carlos Rodon over everybody else by a decent margin. And if you punt a couple hitting spots in your lineup to get him, I think you do it because I think he's going to be worth it tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I disagree with Sean V in the chat. And I guess this is a good talking point on slate. It says Rodon needs 30 or he's a chalk bust. I don't know if he's kidding, but listen, it's always relative to what this slate is, right? Like Anthony K, he did great yesterday getting 23, but Anthony K could have got 12 and you probably still would have been fine with it at that price tag, right? And it's all relative to how the other pitchers pitch. So you can't tell me that 30 is just a bust without even knowing. And Hoop, you're good at value, right? Rodon, if he gets over 20, that could be enough. I mean, it's something, I know Big T kind of thinks like this too. It's
on this slate, what's the number where I feel good with Rodon? If you tell me he's going to get 20 fantasy points tonight, I take it, I pay the 10.7 and move on. And it just goes to the bigger picture, like you were just kind of explaining, in NBA, one of my biggest pet peeves in NBA, people will say, oh, well, my lineup scored 300 points tonight and I didn't cash in 50-50s. Well, it's all relative to the slate. It was James Harden 60% owned and scored 70 fantasy points and you didn't have him. Like, of course you're going to lose, like, no matter what. So all slates, it all slate dependent, varies day to day, stuff like that. It's just the wrong way to look at things, in my opinion.
Yeah,
for sure.
You just don't know how they're going to score, right, DC? It just depends on what happens with the slate. Like, if out of nowhere, like a 60% batter, right? And the 60's high, right? But let's say someone that's 60% in NBA, he gets hurt. Well, now everything's changed on the entire slate, right? Sure. That's just how it works. It all depends on how the high-owned guys hit that night, right? I mean, that's just simple.
Absolutely. I agree with you guys 100%. I will say, especially in baseball, like if let's say you're on like a really low owned stack, right? The whole stack is under 5%. They go out for 8 or 9 runs, right? You're doing good. But then also the chalk stack scores like 12 or 13. That can be frustrating, right? I get like why it's like, oh man, I was right. The super low owned stack, I thought had a chance to go off. They did go off, and then you get crushed by the chalk. It happens, right? It happens to everybody. But I get why you could get frustrated by it. But of course, it's all relative. If the chalk hits and goes off and you don't have it, you're not going to win. It's just you had to have the Blue Jays last night, right? You just had to have them. Blue Jays, Astros. You didn't have them. I was on the Reds. It didn't work out. This happens sometimes. So you just move on to the next one, right?
Yep. And let's move on to like the next set of pitchers, right? It gets ugly. Like there's not a lot of guys that I really
like.
No. I mean, DC, I'll go to you. Like Pablo Lopez, sure. Pablo Lopez has been better this year. Do I really want to pay $9.3K for Pablo Lopez? Yes, the park is better, but Washington, man, I mean, Kyle Schwarber just does not stop hitting. Kikuchi against the White Sox. I mean, I know the White Sox they're all hurt, but I don't think it's a great spot for him, even though I play Kikuchi a ton. It's 9.2, right? I like Kikuchi at that 6.3 tag or the 7.5, not at 9.2. I mean, Chris Paddock at 8.8 against Arizona, you can make a case for. You can always make a case for Mike Minor and, nice little revenge spot for him. Lefties, though, against Texas is always good, but I don't know, DC. Talk to me about these pitchers here in this mid-tier because it's kind of ugly.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of listed all the guys, right? I got the playbook up early before the show, and you hit every single pitcher that is in there, right? I listed 6 guys. The only guy that you didn't mention was Framber Valdez for the Astros, who's been really, really good since returning from injury. What has he had? 4 straight starts, 7+ innings. Strikeouts have kind of come and gone, but he's had a pretty tough matchups too. He's faced just 5 starts this year. He like dislocated it or broke his finger, something like that. San Diego, Boston, at Minnesota, and then Chicago White Sox. Now he gets Detroit, right? So we are a little bit worried about the weather. We talked about that at the top of the show. We'll have to monitor that. But yeah, Framber Valdez, the guy I would add to the list. I do have Pablo Lopez as my number 2 starter. I mean, I don't, you don't love it, right? Against Washington, it's a high price tag for him. He's not a super high upside guy, but I think he's pretty safe. And then, Chris Paddock, I think you can make a strong case for him as your SP2. He's been excellent these last couple starts. I did dig into him today prior to the show, and I don't really know why he's been so much better in these last 2 starts. 20 strikeouts to 1 walk over the last 2. In fact, if you go back, the last 4 starts, he's at 32 strikeouts to 3 walks, right? That is like a truly elite ratio. That's something you don't see anything but the very best pitchers do. So I couldn't really figure out what's necessarily going on with him, but he was absolutely dominant in these last 2 starts. Even if you look under the hood, like 20% swinging strike rate, just the 2 of his best starts of his career, frankly. So I've never really been a huge Paddock guy, but I kind of buying in a little bit. He's home here against Arizona, right? Who I don't know if you guys saw the highlight of there's like a hit to center field, Dan Vogelbach's rounding third, and he like completely tears his hamstring like 70 feet away from home plate. He's literally like almost like crawling home. And the Arizona guys like have the ball in the infield and they just like don't even notice. The announcers are like screaming, throw it home, throw it home. And they're just holding the ball and he just like literally hobbles home. So the point is the Diamondbacks are just they're kind of like a dead team right now. Is there a team you want to target against? So I do like Chris Paddock quite a bit too.
Yeah, and Paddock feels like a guy, DC, and I know that this is very like feel-esque, but like when Paddock like sucks, like just stay away. But when he's on, like he seems like he's a good guy to run.
Yeah.
It just seems really streaky. So I'm okay to ride it out here against Arizona, right?
Yeah, he was a top prospect, and then and I think in 2019 he was really, really good, right? And he just kind of, it seemed like he just kind of fell in some hard times. Just throwing his curveball a little more, which you like to see because he's kind of primarily a two-pitch guy. I have some confidence in him. So I think it's close for me at SB2 between Lopez and Paddock. Was kind of interesting. You know, I don't see really any cheap pitchers that I want to roster. So I think most people are going to be paying up for two pitchers. There's a lot of really, really good expensive bats on this slate. So it's going to be interesting. Like if you can find a guy down there that pitches well, you're setting yourself up pretty well. I personally can't really recommend any of the cheap pitchers tonight.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. And Detroit Tigers has a good comment in chat, DC. He said your swing last night was orange red, so at Topgolf. So I thought that was pretty good. It wasn't a bad swing though. Maybe it was more of a yellow orange, but it got the job done.
My swing's a little baseball like, but that's all right. It gets the job done.
Okay, chicks dig the long ball, right? So as long as you're hitting that long ball, you're good. Hoop, I'll go over to you with these mid-tier pitchers and I guess the cheap ones. We can lump it all together. Like it's just rough down here, right? I don't know exactly what to do here at the pitcher position. I was putting the cash chart together and I didn't have a lot of guys on there besides Rodon, right? Because it's just really brutal.
Yeah, just to answer Tiger's question in the chat asking why I cut my own lawn. I could have like $5 billion. I mean, this is no joke. I would still cut my lawn. I'm very particular about my lawn. It's been a topic on the show of many, many occasions. I like cutting the grass, and I'm going to get you guys, whether it's Sunday or Monday, it's looking like it could be Sunday this week. I'm gonna get in tip-top shape, and I'm gonna get a picture out there for you guys to show you how proud I am of my lawn. So I'm a lawn guy. I'm one of those dudes that is out there. Not many things. Like I said, I don't do anything in the house. The wife cooks, cleans, does laundry, all that crap. I do the outside stuff, and I take pride in it. So that's why I do that. In terms of the pitching, I'm not going low. I mean, there's just nothing here. I think you play Rodon, and then it's basically the guys that you guys talked about: Lopez, Paddock, and then even Mike Minor a little bit. I have some interest in him at 8-7, but I see no reason to dip down. I can't even really come up with a name of a guy that I have any interest in, which is wild because we have a big slate, and we've on a lot of occasions, we've been able to recommend some cheaper guys. Just not seeing it on the slate. So my player pool will probably be 4 or 5 guys, and it's going to be all guys over probably that 8.7K marker.
Yeah, we're all on the exact same page here. I guess if I had to play one cheap pitcher, or if I want to get a full Blue Jay stack or something like that, Griffin Jax for the Twins. I at least his last outing for the Twins, he's been kind of up and down from the minors and the majors. He at least threw 93 pitches, right? So you can at least, he's got a chance. Any pitcher that, is at home against the Indians, and he might be able to give you 90 to 100 pitches at 4K. Like, you could get lucky, right? Like, you could just, the batted balls he's going to give up could go to the fielders, and maybe you get 15 points out of him. Not a recommended play, but if you do want to go with a full-on stack of, 5K plus guys, you can't get that without going with the cheaper pitcher. So he would be the guy I would play, but we'll absolutely be not excited to play him if he does end up in any of my lineups.
Yeah, my cheap guy that I'd go to if you force me to is Dane Dooning, right? He gets that ballpark. I believe is it in Texas today, DC, or is it back?
Yeah. It is. I think he's fine too. He would be my second choice. The difference between Dunning and Jax for me is if you're going cheap, you get another 2,400 in savings, right? So you get still even more different than what the majority of people are going to do.
Yeah. So that's a guy I would go to.
Yep.
DC, give me like your final pitcher rankings, and then we'll go on to the other positions. If you have any other questions on pitchers, right, you can hit us up in the Discord chat. Like, we'll happily answer those, but there's just not a lot to talk about at the pitcher position, DC.
Yeah, I have Rodon number 1. I think he's clearly number 1. And then I think it's really, really close for me, 2 and 3, Pablo Lopez and Chris Paddock. I think Lopez is maybe a little bit safer, right? Pitching in Miami. And then I think Paddock has more upside given what we've seen these last couple games. I did put Lopez number 2 in the playbook, but I think it's very, very close between those two. I really haven't decided quite yet.
All right, Hoop, I'll go over to you. We're going to pick the ticket guys now, right? Is that correct? Or do you want to give a little more time? Do you have your entry?
Yeah. I mean, but we should pick it. I mean, it's I don't think it's going to fill while we're on the show, but I've been kind of monitoring, and it looks like there's 600 spots left. Why don't we do the member tickets? Then we can kind of say we'll do the 3 that we each pick, and then maybe save one here. The YouTube winner, we'll save it for closer to the end. Want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. Does anyone have someone ready to go? DC, Hoop?
I already have mine. I have mine highlighted. If you guys want me to go first.
Go first, Hoop.
Okay, so I mean, it was just as soon as I read this comment, it was the clear winner for me. Has nothing to do with Big T, and where the hell is it now? No, I had it highlighted and it disappeared on me.
Oh, I wonder if it's the same one I'm looking at.
Is it a deleted one?
All
right, man, going. You might have to go. I had it freaking highlighted. Now it's gone. It disappeared on me.
Okay. I mean, I'm going with the one that led the clubhouse. So it's stacking against Kikuchi because he has a small penis, right? I mean, that was kind of the criteria I was looking at for some kind of Big T comment, right? And that's up his alley. So he says don't play John Pack in golf because he wears earrings. You can't wear 2 earrings. Those kind of comments are just too good. They make me laugh. So I'm definitely going with that. It's Bobby here. So Bobby, reach out to Hoop. Is that correct? Is he reaching out to you?
Yep. So what we're gonna do is it's on FanDuel, so we're just gonna PayPal you the money. So shoot me a message on Discord with your PayPal address, and I'll get that sent to you now.
All right, that's getting over to you. Hoop, have you found your guy yet, or do we gotta go to DC?
Yeah, I found my guy. I mean, it was the no-brainer winner here. If you followed or watched the PGA show this week, you guys know I did something in PGA that I have not done in a very, very long time. Mangone tried talking me off the ledge.
I tried. I really did try.
I know you did. You did. And you did. You tried. Snyder tried. I had a very good feeling about dusty ass, shitty Ricky Fowler this week for some reason. I haven't clicked his name in over 2 freaking years. He's 7.3K. I said, now's the time. He's gonna, turn the corner here. He may have been like one of the worst in the field especially today. He was okay after round 1. Today, full on disaster. So the guy I'm picking is K Schuler 12. He goes nothing to do with baseball, but fuck Ricky Fowler. I agree. That's who I'm picking to win the ticket.
He was on my list too. He said another for a different comment though. So he's been killing it in the live show chat. He said, I'm just here for the third world country jokes by DC. That's a pretty good one. After a couple beers yesterday, I was taking, throwing some shots at JSU. So that's a good one. But he already got the ticket, so we'll go with someone else. I'm gonna go with NY Yank Fan 7, who he did the Kevin Roth Hitler video quote, and also. He said, give me this Colombo guy for 4K. He's a lock like Brent Suter was. A throwback to a funny Big T comment. Big T wanted to play a 4K pitcher who was scheduled to pitch 1 single inning, same as Colombo. So that's a good one. So yeah, NY Yank Fan 7.
All right, so make sure you guys give me those PayPal email addresses, and I'll send over the money so you can get entered into that $150. What is it called? Jumbo something, whatever it is. It's the big tournament on FanDuel.
Yeah, and Sylvester Payne, he's watching. He said, damn, I missed the competition. Well, you haven't. There's one more ticket that we're giving away. So, and it's going to be in the YouTube chat. It could be a member, right? If the member says a funny comment, then go for it. It's got to be like our favorite comment. So we'll all either pick one or we'll figure it out. So definitely going to pick one of the guys in the chat. But let's dive in and talk about the hitters, and let's go talk about the catchers. And it's definitely not a bad day to punt catcher. There is Gary the Goat Sanchez, though, against the lefty, DC, right? You can't ignore that. He's been on a hot streak, too. So 4.6K, are you paying for Gary Sanchez or are you paying down?
Yeah, I think there's a number of good catchers today. Certainly Gary Sanchez. Do we think he'll be the most popular? I could see that. No, wouldn't be shocked to see him come in popular. Like Salvador Perez a little bit against Dane Dunning. And then, yeah, Buster Posey let me down a little bit the other day. But listen, I'm just going to play this guy against almost every lefty. He's just absolutely crushing it this year. Sean Manaea, decent enough pitcher, but no one to scare me off of Posey. I think Posey's going to keep it up for all season is kind of my prediction for him. So I know it's in San Francisco, but he's shown he can get it done. And I think he'll be low owned, right? People don't like rostering guys in San Francisco. I get it. It's a tough place to hit, but Posey's been hitting there his whole year. He won an MVP hitting in San Francisco 1 year. So yeah, Buster Posey, my top guy. And then Tyler Stevenson. I like the Reds again today. They let me down yesterday, but back on him here against Drew Smyly. I think he's hitting cleanup. And then Will Smith kind of rounds it out for me.
All right, I'll go over to you, Hoop. What are you doing at the catcher position? Typically cash games, right? Paying down is not a bad move. And even in tournaments, right? I love paying down a catcher if I can find a good one that fits my stack. How are you handling the catcher position, Hoop?
All right, sorry. I was getting these winners their money. You guys mentioned Gary Sanchez. I mean, on a heater. I mean, this is a guy that has run. We've seen him in these heaters where he just goes unconscious, hitting these home runs, and he's hitting very, very well right now. I'm assuming he'll draw a good lineup spot tonight. Fair price tag on DK at 4.6. Tyler Stevenson, 4.2K. I think it's fine play. That game there, I think has a chance to score a lot. Is there weather there, DC? Is that one of them or no? The Reds
Cincinnati,
game?
yes, but I would be surprised if that game didn't play.
Okay. All right. So him, full punts. Toronto's projected to score like 6.5 runs tonight. Reese McGuire's 2.4K. If you want to punt there, I don't hate that against Matt Harvey. I mean, picking cheap batters against Matt Harvey is never a bad idea. That is, about it for now. Obviously could change though once we start getting some more lineups, but you can save some money here. I don't think spending up here is a necessity.
Catch is a position that changes the most, right? Because we just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, you just don't know between two guys who's going to be in there.
Yep. So let's move on over to first base, and it's like the same as yesterday, right? It's Vlad Guerrero or Freddie Freeman. If you have the money, right? I mean, that's the thing. Like, you got to have the money for it. And hey, they both hit home runs yesterday. Seemed like good spends yesterday. Seemed like good spends today. DC, what are you doing at first base?
Yeah, those are the top two guys. I think those are going to be the top two guys for basically everybody, right? I mean, I don't know what more you need to say about Freeman and especially Guerrero, who's just been a monster all season long. But yeah, Freddie Freeman. I've been saying it, like, I know that the numbers early on didn't look super great, like the batting average is low. This is the same guy that won the MVP last year. He's still that same hitter, just getting a little bit unlucky this season. So that's been turning around, and I would continue to expect him to hit well. Obviously, good matchup too. Luke Voit for the Yankees. I like the Yankees stack quite a bit. He's 4,400 back from the IL. I think he's already hit a home run, so he seems good to go. And then if you want a cheaper guy, my favorite one is Ryan O'Hearn. We've talked about him on the show. Hit a home run for us the other night. Up to 3K. He was 2K these last couple days, hitting cleanup for the Royals. And I think he might be about to go on a little run here. So if you need a cheaper guy, and you might on this slate with when we're paying up for pitching, Ryan O'Hearn would be kind of my punt first baseman.
All right. How about you, Hoop? Are you going to punt or are you going to punt with like Chavez, right? He's 3K. I think he's a better second base option. I feel like I'm wasting my spot at first base doing that, but you can punt or you can pay up. It seems like at first base, Hoop. How are you handling it?
All the winners should be paid now. So make sure you get into that $150 contest on FanDuel. All right, first base. Let's see, getting back in the mix here. Obviously you have two premier spend ups at the position, Vlad Guerrero against Matt Harvey, and then Freddie Freeman, 5.7K in that game that has a big 10.5 total against Gutierrez. So those two are clearly the spots you're going to go if you want to spend up at the position. Who was the 3K guy that you mentioned?
Ryan O'Hearn. Yeah, we talked about him, I think, on Wednesday.
Yeah,
He was the one with the eye popping.
Chavez is popping a little bit, right? Because he's like a 3K guy, but the problem with him is like you just slide him at second, right? I mean, that's how I would handle it.
Yeah. You definitely want to go him at second base, I think, for sure.
I think O'Hearn's a way better play than Chavez at that same 3K price tag. O'Hearn was the guy we were talking about. I think it was on Wednesday when I looked up his AAA numbers and I was like, whoa, this guy has been killing it. And then we realized he had homered off of Garrett Cole the previous day, hit another one on Wednesday. And then, I mean, he's rolling right now. So yeah, I really do like him quite a bit.
Yeah. Chavez is going to be pretty popular batting leadoff there, but probably at second base, not first base.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people try to get up to Vlad or Freeman. I mean, they're two of the premier hitters on the slate. And then is the Yankees lineup out yet? I'm pulling it up here.
Should be, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't see it yet. Yeah. If Luke Voigt's in there, middle of the order, I think he's a strong play. O'Hearn, I like O'Hearn at 3K. I mean, just absolutely crushing. And we talked about it on the show, like DC said. I think it was his first at bat. He hit the homer second. I mean, and he had more on top of that too. He had a monster game. He was in GPP winning lineup. So I like him here at a flat 3K as well.
All right, let's move on over to the second base position. Before we do, get those likes up, right? DC, we got to pick a number because we might hold those plays. We got Hoop here, and he's always down to hold the plays. What do you want to do here? 450 watching, 140 likes. What are we doing here, DC?
It's got to be, I don't know, what do we got? 450. I got to get
be at least 200.
Yeah.
We'll do at least 200. And by the way, we are giving away a ticket, so keep the comments coming in the chat. My favorite comment right now, I'll just give you my leader, is Lycan888. He just put one in the chat. He said, Mango has a great backdrop now, which I appreciate. He loves it. Says DC has the cop-out RPS logo because he doesn't want us to realize he's in mom's basement. And then this is my favorite one. Hoop has some jacked up Olympic rings looking artwork, which it definitely is correct.
Drunk Olympic rings or something behind me. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard the story. I mean, it's not really a story, but the wife's very particular about the decorations and shit in the house, like so particular. She wants it a certain way. Just not a fight I'm willing to take on. I'll battle when I need to battle. I mean, there's certain areas that I go to battle. I'll go to war and get my way with the decorations. I say, you know what, do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's a good choice. You're not looking at the decorations when you're walking around your house anyway. Yeah, you put up wherever you want, wifey. That's
exactly.
That's all
I
good.
don't give a shit.
I will say though,
it's a battle that I've conceded, and I'm willing to live with it. And that's where we're at here. But yeah, your backdrop is looking nice.
You say I don't want people to realize I'm in mom's basement. I mean, we talk about it every show. Literally, the plays of the day are called mom's basement plays of the day. So to say that I'm trying to hide I'm in the basement, I'm proud of it. I brag about it all the time. So that's a little hurtful there.
Yeah, that is.
The chat is on fire today. I'm really digging this. You know what? We're gonna let's bump that up. We'll do two more $150 tickets. So we'll give an extra one out as well to someone in the YouTube chat. I mean, it's a lot of fun when you get the interaction with the chat. These guys are on fire today. Absolute fire, making fun of DC swing, making fun of me with the lawn, our backdrops. I mean, these people are on it today, so we'll give another $150 ticket away at that.
Love it.
Yeah, and I mean, Redmond with the great comment says we all know Hoop is secretly a receptionist at a massage parlor. I mean, that definitely looks like a receptionist at a massage parlor.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, this definitely is a massage parlor-esque backdrop.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that one.
Yeah, so we're giving away 2 tickets now, so we'll do it for 2 comments. Again, something that makes us laugh, something that's funny, just find something good that will work for us. So, but yeah, that's it.
The day Hoop takes out those circles, he's going homeless. Mrs. Hoop does really like these things for some damn reason. I mean, I'm gonna have her go through these comments and read them, and I'll give you guys an update. But she is dedicated to these freaking circles. But I will say there was some stupid ass plant in the corner over here that she did finally give in. I know I showed you guys it before, but there's something new, which I like a little bit better. So here, I'll let you guys see. It's a little fake plant on a stand. So it's an upgrade from the shitty plastic fake plant that was there.
How many circles do we have throughout the house? Is that like a
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is this like a collection thing? Is there other circles?
You guys are looking at there's right here. You got that one, you got this one, and that's it. I mean, for some reason she thinks the circle, it's just maybe she thinks it goes with the red in here. This is the only room that's painted this color. I don't know, but this is the only spot where you'll find the circles in the house.
All right, well, let's move on over to the second.
Yeah, I'm not jeopardizing the fucking workbench for removing these circles behind me. There's 0% chance. So that's a great comment.
Yeah, you can't do that. But let's go on to second base position. Hoop, I'll go right back to you. So we got the Blue Jays against Matt Harvey. Like, we haven't talked about that enough. Matt Harvey sucks, right? I mean, Semien is a great guy to throw in there at second base and spend on, but you also have Ozzie Albies against the Spider Tat. And again, I talked about Chavez, right? Batting first at 3K. And if we want to spend up on a lot of pitchers, there are some spots where you want to save, and it doesn't seem like a bad idea to save with that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be temptation at every position to just go all the way up and spend. I mean, outside of catcher, I think you can find a cheap catcher today, but the first baseman, there's some really good plays. Second base, we have really good plays, but that's where the slate gets interesting because we talked at pitcher and none of us really felt good about any of the cheap pitchers. And if you're going to want to load up on Toronto today, if you're going to want to load up on Atlanta, you're going to have to make some sort of sacrifice, most likely at pitcher, to make it work. So, yes, I definitely would want to play Marcus Semien. I definitely would want to play Ozzie Albies. I think you can even look at this Jonathan India, all 4.7K and above in real good spots. It's going to be hard to do it, but I mean, those teams are in some really good spots. I mean, we have some really big totals tonight. So you're going to have to make some decisions. If you do play the top pitchers, which, I'm kind of leaning towards doing, I'm probably going to have to take a look at a cheapie somewhere. So if I'm spending here, if I do end up having to spend here, Semien, Albies, India, I think all good plays. If I want to go cheap and save, I mean, you can go all the way down to the bottom. Stevie Wilkerson's 2.1K. I mean, it's a full punt play. I mean, it's a full punt. You don't expect him to do anything. 2.1. We have, let's see. I mean, there's really just not value at this position. So maybe it is a position that we do just go ahead and spend up on, because those three spends, I think, are really, really strong plays. So, yeah, as it stands now, I'm probably going to make an effort to spend up at second base on one of those guys.
All right, DC, are you going to make an effort to spend up at second base, or are you going to spend down on some of the other options we talked about?
Yeah, I want to spend here. I mean, I just don't really see much at all in the lower tier that I want to play. Maybe we'll get a surprise guy in the lineup that we don't anticipate that looks okay, but I don't anticipate that happening. I just don't see many good names down here. So I do think I want to spend up. There's a bunch of good second basemen. I agree with you on kind of who they are, right? We don't disagree at all on that. Jonathan India, I really like him against Drew Smiley. India's been hitting great. Obviously a good stack overall. He's been stealing bases. You can really run on Drew Smiley as well. So you have the platoon advantage. You got a good steals matchup for him, like the Reds in general. So India is my top guy, but yeah, I think it's close between, India, Semien, Ozzie Albies, I think is a fantastic play. Jose Altuve, of course. Max Muncy, I like. Nobody will play him in that late game for the Dodgers. So a lot of different ways you can go. I do see this as a spend position, though.
Yeah, something worth mentioning with India yesterday, DC. So that red stack, right? It was pretty popular. What do you think India's ownership was in GPPs? What's your guess? He was 5K at second base yesterday.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, 20%?
I got him at 7% in a GPP,
Wow.
which was kind of nice, right? My red stack, I felt really good, and he dropped a pretty nice score. So sometimes those overpriced guys, right? You kind of get uncomfortable with it, but sometimes it's really nice to get those guys in your laps because it gives you a little bit of an ownership discount.
Yeah, quote unquote overpriced, because I don't actually think he's overpriced. I think he's justified this price based on his play over these last few weeks.
Oh, for sure. But yeah,
I totally get what you're saying.
Yep. And everything, but Hoop, you're laughing. Are there more great comments in the chat, I'm assuming?
The chat's just, killing me today. I'll sleep better tonight knowing Hoop has a new plant in the corner. Glad I got that information. Uncle T wants to know, are there circles on the wall by the workbench. No circular decorations by the work. That'd be a hazard. I don't want circle things, falling on me. And then someone put something in there about Mrs. Hoop running the workbench. No. That's not how it works here. Mr. Hoop runs the workbench, just to be clear. So a lot of good comments in there. What position are we talking about? Is it my turn?
I haven't asked you the position yet. We talked about, I believe you talked about second too already, right? Or did I not ask you about second?
Yeah. I did talk about second.
All right, so let's move on over to third then, right? And, I think Suarez is a great option. I like some of the Reds today against Smiley. Smiley's okay, right? But you can definitely get a hold of him and they have a bad bullpen. So don't mind him. And in that same game, Austin Riley at 3.9 feels really cheap. And you guys just talked about spending up at second. We want to spend it first. Like, third base doesn't feel like the worst spot to maybe save some salary today.
With who?
Oh, Hoop. Sorry. I was going to you, Hoop. My bad.
Yeah, I think you can definitely save some salary here. Suarez, like you said, I think is a fine play. I'm going to continue to target Wander Franco. I mean, they got his price up. He's 4.2K. I mean, I just think he's going to be elite. So 4.2K, I think is, still too cheap for him. Biggio for the Toronto, he's batting 6, 4.4K. I mean, he's going to be much lower owned, I think, than the other Toronto guys. Austin Riley, 3.9K, very fair price tag for him in a good matchup, good ballpark. And then we've got a full punt batting second, Luis Rengifo. He's 2K batting second. So you can just go ahead and punt off the position 2K, get a guy in a good lineup spot here. So I'm more almost certain that I'm going to be saving some money. I'll be under 4K most likely at this position.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was in the lineup today, Luis. So he's definitely a punt option you can consider. DC, first, did we say the name? Is it Rengifo? How do you say it? And is Luis someone that you're going to be considering?
Yeah, I think he's okay. I think it's Rengifo, but yeah, you're close enough. Yeah, this guy, he's not good enough to warrant everybody knowing exactly how to pronounce his name.
He's no Wander Franco, right? I mean,
yeah, there we go. I agree with most of those plays. I do think this could be a position where you maybe go off the very, very top tier. You got Biggio there at 4,400. I definitely prefer right next to him Brian Hayes for the Pittsburgh Pirates, assuming that game in St. Louis looks okay, which I think it will. He's been like, I keep waiting for him to kind of break out. He's had 2 good games in a row, right? 2 hits in back-to-back games. I think this guy's going to be really, really good. I know he's only got 3 home runs on the year, missed a bunch of time, but I've still been impressed with what I've seen and the at-bats he's putting together. So Brian Hayes at 4,300. I don't think anyone's going to play the Pirates, right, against Kim. They're just going to go completely overlooked. And usually when an entire team goes overlooked, so will every kind of individual play. So I do think you'll get Hayes at a fraction of the ownership of the guy right next to him in Kevin Biggio. So I like him a lot. Joey Wendell, another guy that we like, hitting well for the Rays, hitting 6th against Griffin Canning. I think he's good. But yeah, I would definitely prefer Franco hitting 3rd. There'll be I would assume a pretty massive ownership gap between the two if you wanted to go with the lower owned guy. I think Wendell's, fairly close to him in terms of projection. And then, Suarez and Riley in that game. I think both guys good options. I prefer Suarez, but both guys look really good to me.
All right, we'll go back over to Hoop, and we talked about Semien against Harvey. I don't know if we have the money for Tatis today, but Tatis is definitely in play. He's just 6'4". It's expensive. But we got some other good options, right? Like Gleyber Torres against a lefty. Martin Perez, he can definitely get hit and give up some home runs. You also got Freddie Galvis, right? At 3K, batting second against Manoah, if I'm saying that name right. And he got suspended for 5 games. DC, do you know the reason, before I go to Hoop, do you know the reason why he got suspended was because of like the sticky stuff or anything like that? Because maybe you see like a decline from him if that was the case. I don't know.
Which guy, who are you talking about? Sorry, I missed that.
Alex Manoah, right? Didn't he get suspended recently?
For throwing at a batter. Yeah, he beat a guy. Yep.
I must have missed that. I remember seeing it happen, so I didn't know if it was for the sticky stuff, right?
He's been disappointing. I expected much better from him, frankly, coming up from the minor leagues. I don't have a problem taking hitters against him right now. And I think it's about to start hailing here, so if it gets super loud, that's why.
Well, DC, then go real quick before the hail starts. Give us your shortstops, right? Give us who are you playing here at this position?
Yeah. I don't necessarily love anybody here. Again, we talked about Wander Franco. You can go there. Jorge Polanco for the Twins. If you want to spend all the way up, of course, Bichette and Fernando Tatis and Carlos Correa, right? All pretty good options. Like Tim Anderson a little bit against the lefty. I think you'll get him at fairly low ownership against who will be, Kikuchi, who we think will be somewhat popular. So, yeah, Bichette, Tatis, the top of the list, but I don't know. Hard to get up to those guys over 6K on a slate that we want to spend up at pitcher. So, I wish there was. I'm kind of looking for a cheap guy, right? I wouldn't mind going value at this position. I just don't see a ton that I love to do that with.
All right, Hoop, I'll go over to you. Shortstop. Are you spending up? You spending down? How are you handling this position?
This chat is just on fire today. I just can't stop. What's faker, Hoops plants or JSU's drinks on Wednesdays? Except for last night. This guy might. I think we might have to give this guy a ticket. DC's mom is taking a shower upstairs and he thinks it's hail. Oh, it's just literally just way too good. Way too good. At shortstop, I mean, you can spend. There's a lot of ways to go. I mean, you can spend, and there's some premier spends. I mean, you got Semien, Tatis, Bo Bichette. I mean, all 5.6K and above. So I mean, you're paying a big boy price tag on these guys, but all three are, I think, phenomenal plays. I really like the Freddie Galvis call, flat 3K, batting second here against Toronto. Franco, you can play at shortstop as well. I like the Tim Anderson call in tournaments. I think he goes overlooked because we have these other guys in really good spots for not much more. But, Tim Anderson's always a guy I like targeting when he's facing a lefty. Dansby Swanson batting 6, 3.4K for Atlanta. Tons of ways to go. I want to spend here, though. I mean, I think I want one of these top guys. Can I make it happen? We'll see. I mean, maybe there's some cheap outfielders. I haven't dug super deep, so when we get there, we'll see. I obviously want one of the top guys at this position, Bichette, Tatis, or Semien. But if not, we have some cheap guys that I feel good with. I mean, probably Galvis would probably be my favorite at 3K.
All right. Well, Freddie Galvis, Big T will definitely be considering him, of course. Is it the right matchup? I always forget. DC, was this the correct matchup? Is this the matchup he's actually good in, or the matchup Big T likes him in?
This is the matchup that Big T prefers, but it's also the matchup the numbers say that he's worse from.
Yeah, of course. That's how it works with Big T.
But listen, Big T's playing him, which means he's hitting a home run. So, yeah, get Freddie Galvis in your lineup.
All right, well, let's get on over to the outfield. And we got, obviously, Acuna at the top, right? Like, if you want to get some Braves in there, don't ever ignore him. I don't know if he's for sure in the lineup, but he's definitely in.
Yeah, he's in.
He's in, cool. We got Bellinger is too cheap, right? That's a guy that I looked at, but I like Castellanos a lot. He was my play of the day yesterday, had a big day. 5.0K, it's expensive, but who are some of your spend ups in the outfield, Hoop?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really solid plays here in the outfield. I mean, Acuna at 6'3", like you said. If you want to go to the Blue Jays offer, some really solid plays. Teoscar Hernandez, 4.7K. George Springer is only 3.9K batting fifth. I think he ends up getting some big ownership. I mean, you're paying mid fives and above for the core of Toronto here today in this matchup with Matt Harvey, and Springer comes in under 4K. He's going to have a lot of ownership. Aaron Judge, 5.1K. I like the Bellinger call. Tyler O'Neill is 3.4K. That's just way too cheap for me. Michael Brantley, 4.5K is a guy of interest in. Kyle Tucker, assuming that we can go to Detroit. I mean, it is still raining here quite a bit. So, I'm not in Detroit, but 30 minutes away, and I'm assuming it's raining there too. But Tucker at 4.2K, I definitely have some interest in. DJ Stewart, 2.6K. I think he's a fine guy to save some money on. Dylan Carlson at 3.3. These Cardinals guys are a little bit too cheap for me. Stanton is a guy we can look at. A tournament play that I really like. Gary L. Jr. for the Blue Jays. I mean, everyone's going to be playing the big name guys for the Blue Jays. He's batting 8th, and he has some upside. I actually like him a lot as a tournament play. No one's going to play him there against Matt Harvey at 3.7K batting 8th. So those are some of the names. I mean, it's outfield. It's a full slate. It's a loaded position, like always.
Yep, outfield's definitely loaded, and the Gurriel call is good, right? The way to differentiate your Blue Jay stack, it definitely works, and he hit a home run yesterday, so hey, maybe the streak is coming. Maybe he's going to get hot here. DC, I'll go over to you. Give me some of your outfielders today on this slate. Guys not named Trevor Larnach, okay? How about that, DC?
I was going to list him, so thank you for crossing him off my list. I guess I'll just have to wait for my play of the day, and I'll throw him in there. Yeah, I mean, at the top end, I think the guys are somewhat obvious. Castellanos looks like he's in a fantastic spot, or he is in a fantastic spot. Jordan Alvarez getting going. He's been crushing it. Of course, you have Ohtani, Austin Meadows. I mean, these guys are all great plays. The Yankees guys, Stanton and Judge. I slightly lean Stanton, but it's obviously always very close between those two when you get a bad lefty on the mound, which they do tonight in Martin Perez. Cheaper guys, not named Trevor Larnach, who has been banned from the show. Brian Reynolds for the Pittsburgh Pirates, another guy. It's going overlooked. This guy has been, just one of the very, very best hitters in baseball all season long. He's hitting .313 with 13 home runs. OPS well over 1,000 in the last month. Swings even a little bit better from the right side. He's a switch hitter and gets a mediocre pitcher in Kim for the Cardinals. So kind of like that little Cabrian Hayes Reynolds stack in St. Louis. You'll get that really low owned. So yeah, 3,100 for Reynolds. I think a good play. Yeah, I don't know why Tyler O'Neill is just remains so cheap. He just dude crushes, right? He's got massive upside home run power each and every night, each and every slate. Gets a bad pitcher here. I think he's a fantastic play as well, along with his teammate Dylan Carlson. He's too cheap as well, probably hitting first or second in that St. Louis lineup.
Okay. Well, we got some good comments in the chat. The chat's definitely killing me right now. It's some good times. We got to give away 2 tickets for that. Hoop, I think I'm going to leave you in charge. You're the one who's been monitoring it the most. So do you have at least 1 or 2 options, or do you want to do it once we get to the stacks? Or are there too many to pick right now? What are we doing?
There's some good ones. I'm just going to go ahead right now and give Sean Hunter one of the tickets. The comment about DC's mom is taking a shower upstairs and he thinks it's hail.
That's deserving. I want to pick the other one because
you got the other one. This one was that we just have to get that one out of the way. Sean Hunter, reach out if you're a member in Discord. Shoot me a message. If not, email me Mike@runpuresports.com with your PayPal address.
That's a good one, and I'll throw it back at you with another house comment, right? And I think, listen, this comment, it resulted in Hoop giving us a tour of his office there. The massage parlor receptionist. Come on, that's absolute gold. That's so good. Looks absolutely true. That made me laugh out loud. So that would be my pick. I don't have the chat up, so I don't know who said that. But if you're still watching, email Hoop, right? Or if you're in Discord, obviously that works too.
Shoot me a message, Twitter, any way you can. If you made that comment, we'll get you the money for the $150 FanDuel comment. Just great comments. And honestly, this is what makes these shows so fun when the chat's interacting and making these funny jokes. But
I wish we could pick more because there's a lot of good ones in there.
That was Redmond was the one who did that.
Okay.
So he's actually a member too. So I don't know what the other one was, but either DM Hoop on Discord or Hoop. Can they get you on Twitter, or how else would they do it if they're not a member?
Twitter, or you can just email Mike@runpuresports.com and we'll get you the money for sure.
All right, they'll get it taken care of for you guys. But that was absolutely awesome. It's been a really fun show. We're not done yet, though. We gotta get those likes up, guys. Again, it's been a good show. Let's get it home. We are above 200, but hey, listen, we don't want just 208, right? Just push it a little further. We are gonna give the plays of the day, but we're gonna give the stacks first. We'll go over to DC. DC, give me some of your favorite stacks today.
Yeah, I think some of these seem somewhat obvious, right? You've got the Blue Jays against Matt Harvey with the 6.6 total. I think that's kind of the team everybody wants the most, right? Hard to argue with it. Blue Jays just been on fire all season, and you get the Dark Knight Matt Harvey there. I have the Braves high up there. This Gutierrez guy pitching for the Reds, I really don't think is any good. I think you'll get the Braves not low owned, but maybe not quite as high as the Blue Jays. I like the Yankees a lot. I haven't played a ton of Yankees this year, honestly, in general, but I do like them against Perez in Boston. They're getting healthier, right? Judge, Stanton, Voit, Sanchez is hitting. This team's kind of getting going a little bit. You got DJ LeMahieu, who we didn't mention, but I think he's a pretty good play tonight. So yeah, I like the Yankees. And then, assuming the Detroit and Astros game is good to go, you're probably going to see the Astros do some damage. My last one is the Reds. So 5 stacks there. Or a few more I think you could conceivably list as well, but a lot of good offenses tonight for sure.
Yeah, I would say Blue Jays for sure. I mean, everyone knows that, but I really like the Reds again. I think the Reds I might go back to the well on.
Yeah, I'm going back there too. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I also love attacking. Like, I always look at bullpens, right? And that ATL bullpen, it's just so bad. So I'm okay to go back there. You know, a team that we haven't mentioned that much today that I think is really good, and again, another bad bullpen, DC, San Diego. We haven't talked about them a ton. Might not be the greatest hitting environment in the world, but San Diego, we should give them a little bit of love, right, DC?
Yeah, I mean, we barely mentioned San Diego, right? Like a shortstop, we said Fernando Tatis's name, but we haven't talked about San Diego at all on this show, which, I mean, to be honest, usually if there's a team that we don't talk about, not that we're the ones, influencing necessarily, they're going to be low owned, right? They're just not on the top of mind. So yeah, I think that's a good call on the Padres.
All right, Hoop, I'll go over to you. Give me your favorite stacks.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious ones, I mean, really, Toronto is obviously a really good stack. I mean, Houston, if we can go with the weather. And this is a situation where, a lot of people might get off of them because of weather. Maybe it ends up looking a little better before the game starts. But, torrential downpour here. I mean, it's coming down. Might be harder than the shower, DC's mom showering above him because it's really coming down out here. Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay a little bit in tournaments. I don't think anyone's going to be on them. Just kind of like their lineup here. And then the other one that I had, I was going to say the Padres. I really like the Padres. Late game here. We already do have their lineup though, so they got the lineup out. But Padres are a team that I like quite a bit.
All right, let's go on over to the plays of the day. Obviously, you guys got it home for us, so we love that. I'll mention real quick before we get to the plays of the day. Check out the premium show coming up. We're going to have BigT, we're going to have Holden, and then we're going to have JT Hayes. He'll be on there giving you the winners. So use that code Euro25 to get 25% off and get in on the premium show and getting on the laughs and getting on the community. It's an awesome time. We love having fun, but we also love picking winners, and that's what we do for you, and that's what they'll be doing on the premium show. But let's go on to the plays of the day, and I'll go up first. And I'm going back to the well on the same guy. I love Castellanos here against the lefty, against the bad bullpen. I'm taking him. Nick Blastellanos, he hits another homer today, so that's my guy, DC. I'll go over to you for the Mom's Basement play of the day. Do you got? Is it going to be Trevor Larnach again? Are you going to him, or who do you got for us?
Jeez, you got some hate for Trevor Larnach. Has he let you down a few times, man? Going, or what's going on?
I haven't played it much, but it's fun to poke fun at him because you love the Twins, right? You always play him. It's like Trevor Larnach.
Got my Twins shirt on right here. Yeah,
he's got all this power and pop, and I haven't seen enough of it yet. So he's
fair enough. No, I won't go with him. He is currently in my lineup, but I won't give him away as the play of the day. I'm going with Brian Reynolds, $3,100 outfielder. This guy's averaging 8.8 DraftKings fantasy points per game. He can hitting third in that lineup. There's some weather concerns in St. Louis, so do pay attention to that. I think it's going to be okay. And really good hitting weather there. We're looking at, high 80s, humidity and strong winds out to left field, it looks like, which obviously is good for a right-handed bat or switch hitter like Brian Reynolds. So, yeah, I'll go with him as the Mom's Basement play of the day.
Yeah, and we got a couple of comments in chat. First of all, do you know Aaron Nola has struck out the first 9 batters he's faced, DC? I don't know if you know that, but we'll be on a watch to see how good Aaron Nola pitches tonight because he's on absolute fire. Is that a 7-inning game, or how long is that one going to go?
I think so. Yeah, no, I haven't been paying attention, but he's been struggling, so that's kind of surprising to hear.
Yep, and then one more comment in the chat. If they had a slate for who can eat the most pizza, Big T would cost $11.5K. DC, would you be able to eat more pizza than Big T? Is that possible? You could take him down in that contest.
Yeah, I would bet on myself there. Yeah, I would make that bet. I'm a pretty good competitive eater. I can put down a lot of food in a short amount of time, so I'd bet on myself there. Yeah.
Would you bet on DC over Big T?
Listen, DC knows he's been involved in some, Twitter stuff, over the years, and DC can tell you that Hoop backs DC every time he steps up to the plate. I was one of your first backers with the first boxing match. You know that. I bet I was in your corner. I don't bet against DC in these situations. This guy has a will to win. Give me DC over Big T for sure.
All right. Well, maybe we'll see that at the next RPS party. We'll have to see. Hoop, give me your play of the day. What do you got here for us? After winning all that money, right? You won 40K, so we got to follow this play for sure.
I like the Rays. Like I said, I like Tampa Bay today. Probably virtually no ownership. Austin Meadows. I'm going to Austin Meadows tonight as the 4X play of the day. I think he gets us a bomb.
I like it.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for us, guys. 6 o'clock, you got Big T, JT, and Holden bringing you the winners. They'll be breaking it all down for you. We got Showdown content tonight. We got MMA stuff going on this weekend. The NASCAR content is already up from Coop. We got it all for you over at Run Pure Sports. So check it all out. But we are going to get on out of here. For me, Mangone, and DC and Hoop. See you guys later.